Hello, this is Mitja from Moonsorrow. You're watching Nordic Metal.
Okay, Mitja. So Moonsorrow was formed in 1995. So 25 years later, what can you say is your biggest accomplishment as a band and yourself as a musician?
Well, the biggest accomplishment for the band, I think, is that we still exist, and we've been making quite a long career, many albums, and not compromising in quality as far as we would say, and yeah, just to be able to make albums and tour and enjoy the band and enjoy making music, that's really important. That's kind of already our legacy in a way. We existed such a long time, but it still feels fresh to be on stage, and we still have the crave for writing new music, and that's something that it might die at some point. Some bands just break up and quit their. If they lose their interest and the spark of writing new music, they just vanish. But we still haven't done that, and we all are looking forward to write new music and play more shows. So I'm really grateful for that.
So with that said about the legacy of the band and all that, do you think Moonsorrow is more of a live band? Do you consider it more of a live band or more of a studio band?
In our case, you can't really. I mean, you can divide these things. We are a studio band in a way that we make albums, but then comes the live part. There is no live part without the albums. We wouldn't be playing so many years anymore if we don't get any new albums out. So of course the number one thing is to make albums. The live thing is a little different. We have a little bit different lineup. Janne is playing guitars instead of Henry mostly, and how the band transforms into a live situation is it feels a little different. But yeah, of course the music comes first and the albums are number one.
Okay. So what's the one thing you can't be without for a live show?
Can't be without. Well, I don't know. I mean, for a band like us, we've been playing so many shows, and we're not the biggest band in the world, so we get to play very big places and festivals, but also very small stages, and I'm happy with whatever are thrown to us what comes to touring, and we have different dynamics. For example, if we play in a very small clubs, it's a very different. The energy between the band and the audience is different from a big stage, and I don't know what I couldn't do without guitar, maybe.
Well, yeah, obviously. So now with that said, what do you prefer, like bigger, more festival type shows or more like smaller intimate club shows?
I think I like the diversity. I feel it's boring to only play bigger festival stages, because sometimes the intimate live shows and the sheer like energy from a small club show, it's very different, but it's very enjoyable as well. So I like to have the both.
So, continuing with the topic of live shows and all that, how difficult is it to choose the set list for shows, considering how many albums and how long the songs are?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's very difficult. Sometimes we are asked to play for 45 minutes on a festival. We always try to get some more time, but even for 1 hour, it's very difficult when most of our songs are almost 15 minutes. Luckily, we know exactly how long they take in a live situation, so we can pretty much nail it down in 1 minute. Like we never play extra, but choosing the songs, it is difficult.
So if you have like a more limited set, you go for more like the classics usually, or do you ever go in like a really obscure one, like just just for fun.
Yeah, we like to make obscure sets as well. It's just when you have 10 minutes left and you think of, okay, which song is gonna be put there. Like, what can you do if most of the songs are either 7 minutes or 15 minutes? You need to you need to make the whole set again and try something different.
So have you ever considered, or has the band ever considered Moonsorrow's music to be used for like film or theater?
The question of like soundtrack for film has come many times. In a way, it makes sense because it is, our music is very cinematic. Many people say that when they are listening to the music, they see images in their head, and this kind of film score thing happens without actual movie. But I would actually keep it that way, that it's not in films or theater, because then it takes away the imagination of, or the storyline that we have created in the songs.
Or the personal interpretation that each person can have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sometimes disappointed when I hear some tracks in a movie, that it kind of takes away the thing that I have created in my own mind. Sometimes it's great. There are some songs that are brilliant for a movie soundtrack, and it just works. But I think we can do without.
Okay. So what are some of your favorite movie soundtracks, if you have any?
Well, my favorite ones are always something that's been made for the movie, like Godfather themes and that kind of things. There are some songs that, for example, David Lynch movies, where he used Rammstein and whatever. Wait, what else was it? I can't remember the name, but yeah, usually people like David Lynch, they really have the talent to pick the right songs, and that's something. It would be interesting to hear our song in a completely strange movie, like you wouldn't expect it to be in. Who knows? Maybe one day.
Maybe. So the music video for Studentunti is like really unique. Do you think Moonsorrow will ever make more music videos in the future, like along those kinds of lines?
That's a good question, because music videos are something that most of the time they are compromises. They are compromises in quality, and because it's very expensive to make very good music videos unless you have a very simple and effective idea. I think the animation idea was really good, and the fact that these people in the Serbian company, they made excellent work. I didn't imagine that it would be that good.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
an amazing video.
And something like that would be interesting in the future, but who knows? We still don't know what kind of album we will make next time, so we don't know yet.
What are some of your lyrical music inspirations?
We have many. For the lyrics, it's, well, obviously we've been reading a lot of epics, the Nordic epics and stuff, but also Ville is writing very broad scale of stuff from his own experiences and feelings, and it's a kind of a mix of all of them, depending on which album it is. But
So does a lot of research go into writing the lyrics?
yeah, research and tryouts, and sometimes we first have the lyrical like context, what the album is about, and then we start creating the music, so they go hand in hand, but sometimes we choose a completely different way, and it's always a little different for each album actually.
So if you look at your Moonsorrow sound from a nature's perspective, how would you describe it, and what season will Moonsorrow be?
Well, I would describe it as the turn of winter in a way. It's still autumn, but it's becoming colder and colder.
How would you describe your music to a deaf person?
That's more difficult.
That's a very good question. It depends on the song. I would say that just to read the lyrics and see what comes up in your head, and
But what
it
if
should
they
be
don't-
it should work.
But what if they don't understand Finnish?
Well,
Translations are not always completely accurate.
that's true. Well, let's say that imagine yourself in a desolate place somewhere in the dark, in the woods, and listen to the birds that you cannot listen, and trying to watch things that you won't see with your eyes, and you're only feeling the cold and the despair. And then you're in the song called Pimeä.
Right. Okay, so if not music, what would you be doing?
Well, I do many things already, like I can't live from the music. We don't play that much. We don't play that many shows, so we all have to do some work, and I work as a cameraman, and I also do a lot of photography and that kind of stuff. I work for the national broadcasting company. Anything from Olympics to news and that stuff, so that keeps me busy when we're not touring.
Okay, so art's related then.
It is, yeah. I'm happy about it. That it's still visually interesting, and it combines my hobbies into like work.
Right.
But when I have free time from the band and the work, then I like to do underwater photography and also like film photography, analog photography.
So can you develop them?
Yeah.
That's so much fun. I
It
can
is.
do it
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
Cool. So is there anything that you can reveal from the upcoming album?
Well, at this point, we have nothing to reveal because we haven't even started talking about it.
I saw on Facebook a little tease that somebody said, like, oh, a new album, a new photo shoot coming, but maybe it was a joke.
It was partly a joke, but we are getting into the writing phase pretty soon, so let's hope. We all are looking forward to it. Henry is busy with Pintroll right now. They are recording a new album, and at some point I hope we get to the writing cycle again, and hopefully we get it out soon.
So any last words for the fans and our viewers?
Well, it's been really great few years. We're playing a lot of shows, and there are still many places we couldn't tour lately, like the US and South America, for example, and we really hope to be able to come back there and play more shows, and hope to see you on the road.